Yeah, hi, what is going on, Emmett's Army? We are going to some doctor's appointments. Let's go. Hey, Emmett. Sure is cold out, huh, bud? Yeah? You ready to go to the appointment? It's relatively concerning because it's so cold out. It's 34 degrees right now. So he's all bundled up, has a couple different pairs of pants on. Emmett does have some trouble regulating his own temperature. So it's not necessarily that the cold air will affect him, because he sometimes even gets cold in normal indoor conditions, but this certainly doesn't help. So we try to get him loaded up quickly to get him into the appointments. We're doing 4 different things today, so we'll see how that goes. Emmett has about 17 different doctors, so we're going to see 2 of them today. I hear what you're saying. All right, this is gonna be an easy doctor appointment, okay? So today we're gonna see Emmett's neurologist, which is a pretty big part of his care considering his nervous system is slowly disappearing. He has a rare condition called Krabbe, which we're not really gonna go into in this video. You can watch one of the other videos to get more information about that. About a month ago, Emmett had a new kind of seizure that we'd never seen before, as you can see here in this video. Emmett already has seizures every day, or something that we call seizures. We're not quite sure what they are, but what you're seeing now is something new that we've never seen before. This was one of the topics of this doctor's appointment with the neurologist. This is what she had to say. Is this something that we should be, concerned about, or is this just because it was a one-time thing?
So spells that were once a week where his head would turn to the left, he would sort of grimace, and he would have sort of a slow rhythmic jerk of his extremities lasting up to 3 minutes. So none of the fast stuff. The fast stuff I have felt has been more muscle tone.
Yes.
This I would think is probably more on a seizure spectrum.
Interesting.
Again, I'm not 100% sure because he's got weird movements.
Yes.
He's not on a high dose of Keppra.
Okay.
We certainly could make a small adjustment to it.
Okay.
So he was on 2.5 in June.
No way.
Yeah, so he was on that at our last visit, so I don't know that we've changed it since then.
Okay, I guess I was thinking of something else that increased a month ago. Well,
I think that may have been the gabapentin.
Oh, yeah.
That went up to 5.
Yeah, that was a 4.5, and then that was 5.
Okay.
So the gabapentin changes the seizure threshold as well.
Well, gabapentin is originally designed as a seizure medicine.
I know that.
But it's a terrible seizure medicine. It just doesn't work. So nobody actually uses it to treat seizures.
Really?
Yeah. So it's being used right now to treat his tone issues.
Yes. After we were done talking about the medications, I asked her a hard question, which she didn't actually have an answer for. What are we to expect from Krabbe as it develops even more?
Yeah. So to be, flat out honest, I have not taken care of Krabbe before. So as we've discussed. So he is my one and only. So I am learning with you guys as we kind of go along. Because Krabbe is a rare condition, oftentimes doctors have never seen it before. So we totally understand if they're not able to answer some of the questions. The neurologist then proceeded to check Emmett, looking at his reflexes and seeing how his eyes responded to light. The appointment overall took about an hour. She really does a great job caring for Emmett. Next appointment was with the audiologist. Emmett can still hear just fine. He is lacking in some ways, but he does wear hearing aids. The hearing aids allow him to hear better
more often and in more situations, depending on the ambient noise in the room. About once a year, the hearing aids need to be recalibrated.
Let's take a look at the hearing aids. So those are some good questions that you guys are asking about. If you think about the hearing loss that he has, it's actually very mild. And what that means is that soft sounds are actually harder for him to hear, not necessarily loud sounds. So for someone with hearing loss, loud sounds stay the same as it is for all of us. And so I've noticed that too, that he kind of gets a little jolted, a little startled pretty easily. The good thing about the hearing aids is they actually have output limiters, and so we're not going to increase that noise, that sound to the point where it's making him jolt even more. Mm-hmm. So the goal of the hearing aids are actually kind of to make soft sounds, so kind of softer conversation, easier for him to hear.
Mm-hmm. What's a soft sound?
Soft sound is like softer conversation, so kind of I was talking like this. And that's also distance, so if I'm across the room back here, my voice is going to be, by the time it gets to Emmett, it's going to be a lot softer than if I'm right up next to you guys. Mm-hmm. And so we think of like classroom situations where the teacher is across the room. Like you said, noisier situations when you're in group settings, hearing aids, are a benefit. Let's take a peek at them, see how they're fitting, and we'll kind of run them through the VeriFit here just to check the settings, and then maybe just put them on and see how he's doing with them.
So how do you make adjustments to the hearing aids?
So we'll actually hook it up to some software that we can then make changes in the computer in there. And what Rachel's doing is putting his hearing loss into what we call it's a verification system. So that's a little acoustic chamber there, and we actually place the hearing aids in there so I can make changes on the software, but then actually watch the physical output of them and ensure that the hearing aids are doing what I'm telling them to do. So right now we're just kind of detecting them and bringing them up on the software. We essentially know exactly how much gain we want to give for different inputs. So if a soft sound goes into the hearing aid, it's going to give a little bit more gain than if a loud sound goes in the hearing aid, because we're trying to normalize sounds for him. If you think of what loud sounds are for us and soft sounds are for us, so here's normal hearing, you have this much bandwidth. For someone with hearing loss, the soft sounds, you need more gain to get here, but this stays the same.
Sure.
So we have to take an input and squeeze it into this dynamic range.
So what's that sound I'm hearing?
This is feedback.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we can make some adjustments there.
This ologist gets pretty technical. When Nikki and I decided to have kids, it never crossed our minds that we'd have to take our son to an ologist, let alone 17 specialty ologists, doctors and therapists outside his primary pediatrician. And of course, it's our job as his parents to gain an understanding of it all, to advocate for Emmett, since none of these ologists talk to each other. This is just a small peek into the chaos. Are you trying to get the green line through a certain...
Yeah, so that's the output. And this is for an average level input of about 65 dB. And so we're trying to essentially line it up as much as we can with those little crosses. It's playing a speech stimulus right now, and it's kind of tracking by frequency how much gain that hearing aid is giving it. And then we'll run an overall output. And so the last thing we're going to run is going to kind of show us, make sure that we're not, that when a loud sound goes in there, that it's stopping that. It's not amplifying it to no end. Perfect.
I heard it that time.
Yeah, that's at 90 decibels, well, SPL, and so that's pretty loud, and that's in that little chamber. So let's go ahead and put the hearing aids on and check the fit and make sure we're not getting any feedback. This is the trickiest part. See that little piece right there? You kind of want to tuck that in right there. Just so it's kind of nice and flush. Mm-hmm. There you go. But those look good. I mean, they're getting a little on the loose side, but honestly, I would leave them because they're going to be more comfortable. Mm-hmm. You get new ear molds and they are whoa, they're tight. Yeah. So those fit nicely. Those are going to be more comfortable.
Sometimes when he does have a spasm and he turns his head, and it kind of dislodges the hearing aid, it does potentially cause feedback.
It's not going to hurt him.
Okay.
It's just annoying. It's about as annoying as for us.
Okay.
So, if he does, kind of spasm and turn, you can just take it out, and then once, you get back in position, and then go ahead and put it back in.
Is there a potential for more feedback? Because oftentimes he's like laying on his side on the couch.
If you're kind of laying on that, for sure there's more potential for feedback. It's called forced feedback, basically. So if you're laying and that ear mold just kind of slips a little and sound gets out, having this physical object here is going to cause that to get re-amplified
Of course.
more easily.
Do the hearing aids sound like robotic in a way or something? Is there like a certain quality of audio that he's getting?
They are digitally processed sounds, so to a certain extent, for us, it might sound a little bit different initially. Our brains adapt really quickly to that. I will say the sound quality, though, of these new hearing aids is quite good. I've programmed a couple for myself before just to listen to music through them.
Yeah.
It will sound different initially, but also they're programmed specifically for him, so
Right.
It's hard to kind of put yourself in that perspective.
Yeah. All right, so those were good appointments with the neurologist and with the audiologist. We have a couple more things to grab here while we're here, and let's go do that now. Okay, so we're trying to find the pulmonologist office here. We forgot where it is, so we went the wrong way. The hallways are really long here, so we're just going to keep walking around until we find it. We need to get Emmett a new mask for one of his breathing treatments, so that he can, so it'll fit better for him, basically. So it's just going to be a quick visit there to get that fitted for him. What's going on here? Push to open. This is it here. Maybe they're on lunch break, I don't know. I guess we won't go there. They were closed or something. I'm not sure what happened. So we'll have to call back later and come back another time to get this mask thing figured out for his breathing treatments. The last thing that we're going to do is get something at the pharmacy, and it's not what you think it is. We're not getting him meds, although he's on a lot of different meds. We're just having problems with these little stoppers that go inside the top of the bottle that we put the syringe into. This is the only pharmacy that we know of that has the right size that we're looking for. Otherwise, they leak, and it's this huge problem.
There's that one, and then here's the larger one.
Ooh, I like the larger one. Are those the only two that you have? Or do you have even bigger ones?
That's it.
Okay, that's fine. We'll take them.
Yeah, you just take them.
Well,
Couple of the larger ones.
oh yeah,
They're so hard to.
yeah, these are like really special to us. So as many as you have would be awesome.
Okay. Then here, look. How's that?
This is awesome.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Do you have a little bag for these?
Sure.
Awesome.
There you go.
Thank you so much. All right, so we got the stoppers. That's awesome. Overall, a pretty good day. Emma did a great job. Now we're gonna head home. Thanks for checking this out. And why don't you leave a comment if you want of some more of what you would like to see in a future video. Thanks so much.